Hi everyone, welcome to my 10-day flip through, which this one is actually 11 days, I believe. And the day after I made my last video, it was actually my mom's birthday, and that's just been sort of a hard time for me since she passed away. And I usually go out and celebrate her and have a pastrami sandwich, and I wasn't able to do that this year because of the pandemic and quarantine and all of that. So that's actually sort of the theme of these 11 days or so. And I put in this drawing that I got from a hand-drawn deck of cards on Etsy. So I'll link to this amazing artist here. And I sort of imagined this person being like one of the multiplicities of my mom's identity, maybe. So that was a pretty good day in writing wise. I think maybe that's sort of turning into something. It was a hard day overall though. And then the next day I was still sort of like hung up on this like parent thing, and things just got like real deep real fast, and I've just been doing kind of some like journal writing. This map reminded me of like my third grade teacher, and I started to think about how I just always imagined myself being a parent, because that's just sort of how you're brought up, is that, you know, you're going to be a parent someday. And so I wrote a lot about that. And this day was very sort of introspective as well, thinking about there's this picture of a woman who jumped off the Empire State Building and she landed on a car, and the picture, like, it's her body and it actually looks like kind of beautiful, and she's wearing gloves and stuff. And so I was thinking about that image. And then there's also this other person, and she tried to jump off the Empire State Building, but the wind apparently blew her back onto the ledge and she survived, but no one knows what really happened to her after that. Her name's Alvita, and she's a person of color. And I was just kind of thinking about like these ways we tell stories, and who gets hurt and who doesn't. And I also drew a little isopod there. The next day, I think the prompt was to make something for a child. I just dropped my key. And my dad made me this truck, and then he like refurbished it, and I still have that truck. So I was thinking about that, and then I sort of imagined if my dad were like a computer programmer or something, that he would have made me some kind of like robot or something. So I think then this day I really just started getting worried about like my car breaking down and not being able to get to work, which is sort of silly because work is like 5 minutes away. But sort of just like overall feeling insecure started to sort of take over. I did do this translation, which I shared in another video after that, and I think that that was a little like pick me up. This day you were supposed to take a picture of the same object throughout the day at least 3 times. So I took a picture of my little plastic isopod guy, and then I sketched out 3 different photos that I took. I should post that on Instagram. Maybe I will. Here's an entry about living in austerity and marriage. So mostly just random thoughts there. Oh, I've also been writing some more bee poems, which I'm trying to like close the book on on that book and get it out there into the world. My collection of poetry called Telling the Bees. And I think it is a complete book, but I'm also still writing about bees here. I was inspired by this description of how lady slippers trick bees into pollinating them. So that might go in a future draft, who knows. Then a really interesting prompt, and I'll post the link to this. It's called 100people.org, and it's about if there were only 100 people on the earth, then like what would each one be like? And so, for example, 9 people out of the 100 wouldn't have access to clean water, and only 7 people would even have a college degree at all, but only 5 people would speak English. So that was actually a little bit encouraging at one point, where it's kind of like I have achieved, I guess, a lot in my life that other people haven't, but I guess too that 9 people wouldn't have access to clean water. It's like, well, why don't the other 91 just like fix that? It seems like a easy problem. I did this weird bonus page that day. I just wanted to keep on writing, I guess, and I drew this really weird, misshapen person. Wow. And then it just really hit hard and made me think that, like, maybe this poem might need to be in Telling the Bees, or I have no idea what's going on, where this sort of fits in. But I think I was really able to get a lot out this day about my mom and how they told her that she had this hormone imbalance, and that she sort of blamed that on me not having this heteronormative sexuality, and yeah, some just really deep shit. That this was a good mix of like getting stuff out, but also I think being somewhat like poetic too. This day I glued a map in here. I think the map had nothing to do with, I have no idea what the prompt even was. But I started thinking about going north and seeing my dad and my sister. My sister's gonna have a baby in just a few days, and there's just no way I can do that right now. My car needs a lot of work, and I just can't take time off of work. And I think I was feeling a little sad sack that I couldn't go up and see them. And I still haven't finished the videos that I started making now 2 summers ago, when I went and saw my dad. So I'm thinking of just making a totally new project out of the footage that I made, and sort of just embracing this idea of queer time. I really just want to get on the road and get away from everything, but the pandemic makes that difficult, and my just living situation, like my employment situation, makes that kind of difficult as well. So I think this might turn into another comic poem. Oh my god, yeah, Matt, you're just going real. I missed my therapy appointment because I had to meet with my students online, and I wrote about this kid, maybe I shouldn't say his real name, but who I guess he like sexually harassed me on the bus, like in junior high, and yeah, I wrote about that. Fun stuff. So that actually completes 30 days of that creative sprint, and so I'm on to a new 30 days, and now every 10 days it'll be like 3 equal sections again, I guess. So you'll hear from me on that. These 30 days, the theme was small things. I think the new theme is something about like not worrying about perfection. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. The new moon is coming. The full moon, I guess, then comes after, and I'm trying to be hopeful about the future. It's hard, so hopefully, if anything else, this video can make you feel maybe not so alone if you are having a hard time dealing with this isolation and uncertainty. Until next time. It's been and it's been really good although yeah, this day was a lot of writing